everyone, Will here from Mature Minded Gamers, and today I'm joined by Justin Gary from Stoneblade Entertainment, and we're going to be showing you
SolForge Fusion.
Awesome. So let's head to the table and check it out. Oh, I'm super excited. This mat looks awesome. I'm a neoprene fan, and the fact that I'm excited. So tell us a little bit about SolForge Fusion.
Yeah, SolForge Fusion, actually, Kickstarter is live right now. It is a game that I co-designed with Richard Garfield, who you might have heard of. He's created not only Magic the Gathering, but tons of other amazing games that I love. And we worked together to make something that, honestly, the world's never seen before. It's the world's first hybrid deck game. And so the quickest way to describe it, if you're familiar with these terms, is if Keyforge and SmashUp had a SolForge baby. So we actually took our original game engine of SolForge, which was originally just a purely digital trading card game, and we modernized it and turned it into a physical game where each half deck, you can see there's 4 faction decks on the board, each half deck is 100% unique. We algorithmically generate it. We actually algorithmically build the cards. So there's over 15,000 possible cards in set 1, and there's actually more possible decks than there are atoms in the universe. So you can pick any 2 decks you want, shuffle them together, and start playing, and every mix and match combination is great. So you actually never have that experience of playing against the same deck or having net decking or all the things that can happen in a TCG, and you always are, but you still are able to customize by picking which decks are going to work well for you. The other cool thing about the game engine, which we took from the original SolForge, is that every card has 3 levels. And so when you play a card, not only does it come into play in one of these lanes and start attacking, and the goal is to try to reduce your opponent to 0 health, but then you get to pull the leveled up version of the card and put it into your discard pile. And so then every 3 turns you shuffle your deck and you start getting access to really cool new cards and new powers. And so we're able to tell really cool stories. So like the Everflame Phoenix starts out reasonably powerful, then it turns into ashes and it's like a very weak card. But then once it rises from the ashes again, it's one of the most powerful cards in the game, right? And so that's a story you can tell much better on 3 cards than you can on 1. And it's also how we balance the cards, right? The fact that I have to play a weak level 2 card gives me the option to play a really powerful level 3 card. So there's no mana, there's no mana screw, there's none of that stuff. You can just pick any 2 cards out of your hand and play them. And the strategy comes from, do I want the best card from you right now? Do I want to build towards something later? So it's a really fun, really dynamic game that plays in about 30 minutes, but really can change every single time you play. Because it's one of the other neat things about it is that when you're playing, you're sort of building your deck as you go, right? I mean, I'm known for Ascension, so of course the deck building element, but in this strategy card game where you can combine different decks to begin with, really does a lot. And so it's been a really fun process to work on, and it's something that people have been really resonating with.
So I love the art of these. Who's your art designer?
So our art director is George Rockwell. He's been our art director for a good 4 years now. So a lot of the new revamp of Ascension that we did with the 10th anniversary and with Ascension Tactics, he was behind a lot of that, and he's been a big part of moving this forward. But so the original SolForge and the original design for that, we had Jeremy Cranford actually work as our art director there, and he's worked on the head art director for Magic. He's currently head art director for Hearthstone. He's like, one of the best in the industry, period.
Absolutely.
And so we've been very fortunate to work with some of the best people that exist out there to build something that, we really think is the next big thing.
So what makes each of these characters, like for example, you have this character card here?
Yes.
And then is the name going to be unique and the abilities, or what is unique about the character?
That's a great question. So these are the Forsborn, and they're sort of like your avatars or your commanders. Each one of them has, the name and the art are going to be consistent throughout the first set, but they're going to evolve over time as the story evolves. The powers are what are algorithmically generated and changed. So each one of these has a set of powers that they can pick from, and that can be at level 2, at level 3, and level 4. And of course, the higher the level, the more powerful that version of the power shows up. So you're still going to get the gist of what that character is, regardless of which version it is. It's not like you could have, Korok's like kind of an elemental master. It's not like he's all of a sudden going to start having like life magic or death magic. Right?
Okay.
But he will have like, whether he get this sort of spell reactiveness on level 1 or level 2 or level 4 is going to matter, or whether he uses his like aggressive powers or his lightning powers, they can all change up. The other thing that's really important about these guys is on the back side of them, you will see all of their the cards they come with, because they're the cards that are sort of commanders. So this specific version of Korok comes with these specific 10 cards. And those are the 30 card deck, 10 level 1, 10 level 2, 10 level 3. And so that makes him the one-of-a-kind version of Korok that you're only going to be able to play with this exact deck. Awesome. You'll also notice that there's a QR code here and a specific unique code. You can actually scan that code to add your deck to our online collection, and we will export your deck so you can play in Tabletop Simulator.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so, listen, we all lived through this pandemic, right? And it was heartbreaking to not be able to get together and play games. And so while this is a physical game first, and we're here to support stores as the primary thing, and we're going to have organized play at the store level and at higher levels and conventions, we will also be supporting organized play through Tabletop Simulator. And so that's not just where we can run events and you can kind of play in our events, but also where the stores can run online events. So they'll have the ability to sanction and run events through Tabletop Simulator if, God forbid, they get quarantined, they have to shut down, or they want to take and have games that expand beyond their region. So we're really trying to make something that takes the best of both worlds and allows you to play no matter where you are, but still brings people together for real community like, we're able to get here at Gencon.
That is totally awesome. Very cool. So there's a lot of dice. Are these the dice that are going to be included in the game for like life counters, or just
basically we're just using. We have these dice here that are designed for just for tracking health and life counters. That they're in the Kickstarter version. You can get them. There's a Kickstarter exclusive dice tin that comes with our dice that'll have our little logo on it. But you can we'll also have little paper tokens, and you can just track it however you prefer to. So each you start at 50 health and you go down. If you knock your opponent down to 0, you win. And also damage is sticky on creatures. So if a 12 health guy takes 3 damage, then he's going to have 9 health remaining. So we just include the dice.
So it doesn't refresh at the beginning of every.
Correct. Yeah, because it's lane-based combat. So you have wherever you play a creature in a specific lane, he's going to fight whatever's across from him. And if you don't have sticky damage, then like big creatures just become too dominant. It can become really problematic. So we felt like that was the most important thing. So we tried to streamline as much as possible.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
I think
We're fine, thank you.
he's fine.
Fluff pillow. That's gonna stay in the video. All right, so awesome. So this is live on Kickstarter right now. When do you expect to have this to backers?
April 2022 is our delivery date. But one of the nice things about this project in particular, so we just finished last year we did an Ascension Tactics Kickstarter, which did very well. And we actually have a version of that here at Gencon now, but it's been very, very challenging to get things shipped from China and to get factories done. I'm sure everybody's heard this story by now. But we've really, with SolForge Fusion, we wanted to make sure that this was done right and that we could actually deliver. So we actually are printing everything here in the United States.
Oh, fantastic.
And so it will be printed in the United States. Right now, only players in the U.S. can back the Kickstarter, so we're going to fulfill to the United States. It will be a global launch, and we are going to support people all over the world. So don't lose face if you're not in the U.S. right now. But we really wanted to make sure that we could execute on exactly what we're promising here and deliver a great product on time.
So when the game comes out to retail, how is it going to be packaged? Is it going to be you buy a half deck, or is it when you buy a box it comes with 2 half decks?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one of the things that the current way we're building it is a booster box will come with 4 half decks, 1 of each faction. So it gives you the opportunity to mix and match, and it guarantees you're going to have an even balance of items. We are talking right now with retailers and distributors to see if they want 2 packs or 1 packs or whatever. So there's a variety of different ways we can go with it. But I actually really like this model because with a 4-pack, you and a friend can immediately play the game.
Right.
You can use it for sealed deck. You can draft them. There's a lot that comes with it. It just guarantees so much play experience.
Absolutely.
And it lets us keep the price very low for what we're doing. Right. You can just for $30 you can get all 4 of the decks.
So MSRP is going to be $30.
$30, yeah.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of play that comes out of that box, and so if we had to package it individually, we have to charge more, and so it feels like the right thing for me, and that's what our Kickstarter backers can get right now, and I think that's going to be our plan, at least for the first release or 2. Right, we're already pretty far down in the development of set 2 for this thing. We're planning about 3 releases a year, so it's not too much, not too little. Keep the community engaged, and it's really excited.
Awesome. So what are your future plans for this game as far as additional expansions, more creatures? What do you kind of look for in the future?
Yeah, exactly. So really one of the things I'm most excited about is the way that we developed this algorithm and the way that we developed the way that we digitally print and create decks. So not only Keyforge was one of the first games to do this unique deck concept, right? But they would just take a fixed set of 280 cards or so and they would just uniquely order them for you, right? There was nothing special about them other than this particular combination. But we actually algorithmically generate the cards. So in addition to the Forgeborn, which I already talked about, there are several of the cards that are specifically, they're algorithmically generated on their own. So this idea of ablative virtuoso is different because the ablative adjective modifies the card and the virtuoso aspect modifies the card. The combat prophet, those both modify the stats and modify the powers of the card. So you can see a combat virtuoso or an ablative prophet, right? So sort of like the Diablo item system, if you're familiar with that.
Right, yeah, we definitely play some Diablo.
Yeah, so we've created, so you can create this sort of like limitless variety, really. As I mentioned, I think the over 15,000 unique permutations in set one alone, and that's just going to exponentially increase as we get more sets. But you can still understand it, right? If you know what ablative means, it's going to give you this armor bonus and modify your stats in a certain way. Then you know what it is when as soon as you see the name of the card, you know what the card does. So I'm really kind of proud of the way we've been able to build something like that. And there's so much that we can do with it, right? Like not only are we able to modify cards in such a way, like our algorithm will protect. So if you have like a zombie lord, right, the algorithm makes sure that there's at least some zombies in your deck, right? You're not going to have the synergies aren't there,
right?
And we're working on ways to improve it even further, where we can have it so that the zombie lord will actually be able to modify other cards and turn them into zombies in your deck permanently. And you'll have like there's like so many different tools that we have. In fact, one of the fun ones right now, our Kickstarter backers are able. So we don't see flavor text on these cards because these were early prototypes, but we did flavor text on all of our cards. And because they're 3 levels, George Rockwell, our creative director, had the idea of making the flavor text haikus. And so you have line 1 on the first card, line 2 on the second card, line 3 on the third card. And so we've opened it up as a contest for our backers that they can submit haikus for the cards.
Oh, fantastic.
And so we loved it so much that we're actually giving multiple winners. And so there'll be different versions of the same card with the different haikus that people selected. And so there's all these kind of crazy things that we can do. Like we're also going to be doing story-based tournaments where I mentioned like Korok, this is Korok in set 1, but Korok is going to have some choices to make over the course of the first season. And is he going to align with the Necrium? Is he going to fight against this mysterious force that we're going to talk about in our lore? And depending upon what the players choose and based on how the tournament results go, Korok will change. And because we print digitally, because we print domestically, we can reflect that stuff way faster than was ever possible before in a TCG. Right. So what will evolve over time is going to be something that fans and players can actually influence and can actually make a part of the story, the cards, the specifics, as well as a lot of the really cool ideas. Like Richard is like at home right now working on set 2, and there's some crazy awesome ideas that are already coming into play that I'm not going to spoil right now, but like trust me, the potential here is limitless. It's such a cool technology and tool to be able to just bring the best of just fun tabletop TCG play with the best of digital technology and online play. And so that's what SolForge Fusion is all about.
That is very awesome. I am actually super stoked for this, and I think you guys would be too. So be sure to check out their Kickstarter live right now. And what would be the website they can go to check out more just additional information about SolForge?
Yeah, the easiest way is stoneblade.com/SolForge, and then just it's SolForge. If you just Google SolForge Fusion, it will come up as well.
Very awesome. So thank you so much. We do appreciate your time, Justin. And again, be sure to check out their Kickstarter live right now. You can go below the video here, just click on the link. It'll take you right to their launch page. So be sure to check that out. But until next time, this has been Will from Mature Minded Gamers. Everyone stay safe and take care. Awesome, man.
Yeah.